The most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman.
Hello everyone, and thank you guys for joining me for another episode of Every 8 Hours. Tonight's story will be about 20-year-old Montasia Arrington of Littleton, North Carolina. Her story begins for us on April the 2nd of 2022, but I know this was a story that was ongoing as she was dealing with domestic violence. And as I always say, domestic violence doesn't just start out of the blue. There are always hints, clues, words, or actions that let you know that the person that you're involved with is capable of doing certain things. On April the 2nd of 2022, Montasia Arrington led Jamazia Tillery into her Roanoke Rapids apartment so he could visit the former couple's child for a while. The 20-year-old woman who was shot and killed Tuesday morning wrote in a domestic violence protective order form. While seeking a protective order against her child's father, Montasia wrote, on April 2nd of 2022, I let my child's father come visit the baby for a little while, she wrote. He asked to use my phone to call his sister. Once I heard he wasn't on the phone anymore, I got the child out of bed to go get my phone. That's when he, my 22-year-old child of my child's father, said, you're cheating on me, Montasia wrote in the form. They were not together at that point. Then he began punching me like a man and goes to the kitchen to get a knife. In the arrest warrant filed against her child's father, whose name is Tillery, last name is Tillery, by Roanoke Rapids police officer N. Powell, wrote that Tillery came to Arrington's apartment place at Fairfield Apartments to visit their 1-year-old child. The defendant saw the plaintiff's phone had messages from another man, and he started beating her in the face with his fist and went into the kitchen to get a knife. The warrant of that portion of the charges says Arrington's hands were cut defending herself. The injury from the beating left Arrington's face and eyes swollen. Tillery then proceeded to restrain Arrington with the knife for the purpose of doing serious bodily harm to the mother of their child. Tillery also damaged Arrington's phone, causing a $200 repair bill, another warrant says. Arrington, according to Roanoke Rapids police at the time, was able to escape and call for help. Tillery fled but was caught a short time later and jailed on a 48-hour hold without the opportunity for bond due to the domestic nature of the case. They charged him with assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, inflicted serious injury, assault on a female, communicating threats, kidnapping, and damage to property. At the time, Tillery listed his residence as 1930 Roanoke Avenue. Tillery posted the $4,000 bond on April the 5th and was released shortly before 5:45 p.m. First of all, why was he even released? This man was attempting to murder this girl, and yet he was still released. So this is what I mean, ladies and gentlemen. They don't take these situations seriously. They don't take them seriously when they get the first warning. Not the victim. I'm talking about the jail, the judges, everybody, law enforcement. They don't take these situations seriously, and then something else happening, and they're like, oh, well, hindsight 2020 is that we shouldn't have let him out. This man should not have had a bond. This man had a knife trying to kill this girl. This man beat her up, okay? Why would they release him? So now they released him. Now they released him, and this is the news story that follows.
Now the news. The manhunt is underway in Halifax County. Authorities are looking for Jamazia Tillery.
Officers say he's accused of shooting and killing the mother of his child, Montasia Arrington. Just 2 weeks prior, Tillery was charged with stabbing her and then released on bond. In a story you'll only see on WRAL, Keenan Willard talks with Arrington's family and the judge who gave Tillery bond after the first assault.
In Littleton, day 3 of a search for 22-year-old Jamazia Tillery. The police chief says they're working with multiple agencies to find him, and they're not sure if he's still in the area.
At this point, you don't really know. So I would really like to see his picture put out there again. So that everybody, if they do see him, they can contact someone and let us know about it.
The reason for the manhunt? Police say on Tuesday, Tillery broke in the home of Montasia Arrington, the mother of his child. Police say Tillery shot and killed Arrington and wounded her mother before escaping.
She got shot trying to save Montasia. She pushed Montasia out the way and told her to run.
Arrington's grandmother says she was a kind and loving young woman. With Tillery on the loose, their family is living in fear.
He still has not been caught. And it's just terrible. It's terrible. I fear for my other granddaughter.
They also say this wasn't the first time Tillery threatened Arrington's life.
A few weeks ago, he came visiting the baby. He attacked her with a knife, and he cut her leg and her hand.
Tillery was arrested and charged with assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill, as well as assault on a female. On April 4th, Arrington went before the court to ask them to keep Tillery in jail.
She was scared of him. She was scared of him, and she didn't want him to get out on bond. She didn't want him to have no bond. And so, because she feared for her life with him.
Court records appear to show Tillery was initially taken in with no bond, but it was modified. Judge W. Turner Stevenson gave Tillery a bond of $40,000 on the condition that he stayed away from Arrington and didn't carry a gun. Tillery bonded out the next day. 2 weeks later, he allegedly shot and killed Arrington.
We was under pressure that he wasn't getting a bond and that he was going to be locked up. This mama had a baby. She got a little boy that would never know his mom.
We got a phone number for the judge who set the bond, who tells us Tillery's records only said no bond at first because he was arrested on the weekend, and that doesn't get decided until an appearance before a judge.
He was really not charged with anything that he would have gotten no bond. We would have a jail with thousands of people in it if all the domestic cases stayed no bond.
Judge Stevenson said at the time he believed $40,000 was going to be enough to keep Tillery in jail.
I mean, in hindsight, sure, I would like to go back and he'd have no bond and still be in jail today, but I don't get the luxury of knowing what we know now when I'm setting a bond.
But Arrington's family says it was plain to see that Tillery posed a threat. They feel the justice system failed her.
She wanted somebody to protect her, and we couldn't protect her. We couldn't protect her. And then she went to the people that are supposed to do the protecting, and they couldn't protect her.
Keenan Willard, WREL News, Halifax County.
Wow.
And so how is it that we get to this point? If you take a look at these pictures, these look like two young, happy children. They look like children. And I understand that they were in their early 20s, but to me, they're still considered children. How do you get to the point in which you want to kill another person as a child? Like, what is it in these young people's mind that's making them feel like that this is their only choice? Even if you're looking at him, he doesn't look like a hardened criminal. He just looks like a regular child. And I'm not by no means minimizing what he did to her. He deserves everything that he's going to get. But I just don't understand what is causing that progression from this moment where it looks like they both are happy to be welcoming a child into the world. I did go on his page where he posted pictures of the baby when it was first born, and he seemed like he was happy that the baby was coming. And this was in 2020. So what is it that causes this progression that gets to the point, not even just in young people, but this is happening in every age, to the point where they feel like, if this person doesn't be with me, I want to kill them or I want to kill myself. And this is from the oldest to the youngest. There is something astronomically wrong going on in this world. And I don't know if it's the sign of the times. Like I said, I think Corona had a lot to do with it. I just think we are in a crisis mode right now. And this is sad that these babies, this one lost her life. They have a son who's going to grow up without a father. The son is named after his father. His father is going to be in prison. Like, this is almost, like I said, it's almost like they feel like they don't have a choice as to murdering their girlfriends or their wives. I just don't understand the mentality. This story is very, very sad. As the many stories that I've reported, it's just a sad situation. As I stated, every 5.5 hours, ladies, every 5.5 hours, there are so many cases. So many cases, too many to count. I pray that Montasia's family finds peace. I pray that she rests in peace and finally know the peace that she couldn't see here on the earth. I hope you guys are staying protected, taking care of yourself. Remember, every 5.5 hours, a young woman or child is being murdered by someone who is supposed to love them. Please watch out for your loved ones. Please practice your Second Amendment rights. And please always be on high regards as far as who you allow in your life and around you. Please evaluate the importance of that person and what that person is bringing to your life. And please, please stay safe. Take care.